All right, guys, we've talked to Matt before. We're going to talk to him again. He's leaving Costa Rica, man. He's leaving. He doesn't want to leave. He has to leave. No, that's not true either. People have choices. But he's got to make a hard choice, and he is leaving. We're going to find out what he's doing, what he's been doing, what his plans are, what he liked about living here, what he didn't like, all that in a minute. I'm Mike Lown, TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is the travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Fill out the 4-minute form. You'll be that much closer to vacation of a lifetime. We're like you, having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. Hey man, you want to help me out? Subscribe, please. Hit the notification bell if you want to see the next video. And if you could like the video and me even comment, that helps as well. And man, if you want to donate, show appreciation for the 13 years of videos, you can definitely go to our site, hit that donate button, and I can get a better coffee mug. All right, Matt, thank you.
Hey,
we talked about, I think we
yes.
talked about a year ago, and
yes.
no offense, but you were a little bigger back then. A little hefty, Matt. A little hefty. It looks like you kind of...
Yeah, don't put that link in the description.
Trimmed down.
No, I've been
Actually, I do got to do that.
I know you do.
I got to. If you haven't seen, we're gonna talk a little bit about the last video just so we can catch you guys up. But if you didn't see the first video with him, I will have that link in the description.
Sure.
He's a little bigger in that one. What have you been doing?
Well,
you look all fit.
Walking, obviously. So
you look all fit and trim.
I turned a good walking routine into 4 kilometers a day, walking through town, and it's really helped. And then just changed my diet. And
what was the diet? We talked about this before. Were you doing the intermittent fasting?
A little bit of intermittent fasting. That worked out great. But I was eating out a lot and not getting the exercise.
And I know you like that ice cream.
I do.
But whatever you're doing obviously worked.
Thank you.
You know.
So yeah, feel a lot better and. Was happy that I did that.
So let's catch up people that maybe didn't see that first video. Then we'll jump into kind of what happened with you and what you're doing and what that you are leaving. But let's kind of do the catch up of how you even got out here in the first place, maybe, and then we'll go over some of the things other questions. But maybe just catch up people in an outline form.
Sure. So I was a teacher for 23 years, mainly in Wisconsin. The last 2 years of that in Alaska. And those last 2 years, 1.5 of them were through the COVID period, and I had 2 of the best years ever. And I thought I kind of want to go out on top. I had 2 good years, and I thought it was time, so I decided to retire. And had made some friendships in Costa Rica, and came down for a winter break, fell in love with it, and then decided that's where I want to be. So I came down after that.
How long before? Okay, you wanted to retire. Had that always been on your mind, or you just said, "Man, I've just had 2 good years. I want to go out on top," or had it been kind of floating around for a while?
Very spontaneous. Everything I do.
Are you spontaneous?
Yes, so that's what I did. So came down and decided to do the digital nomad life. We'll talk a little bit more about this later, but I kind of went all in on cryptocurrency as a sidebar, and I came down here to write. I've always had a passion for writing and screenplays and books, and I did that. And
that's kind of how you spent your time here, right?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, so obviously, I don't know if it was Bitcoin, but so cryptocurrency was kind of your, let's say, security blanket, option B or whatever.
Right.
I guess we probably know kind of how that went. But so, that's why you're leaving? Basically, it's kind of like I got to get back right. I need a little bit more money than I can maybe make down here.
A little bit. It was the most rational decision. I mean, I had several different things that I could have done. Everybody has different kind of investments. Some people have crypto investments. Some people have the stocks, and some of mine are tied up. And then the rest of what I had, as people know, with the market, it went down a little bit. So I had to make a decision: either go and unretire and go back to teaching for a little bit and get a little help financially there.
And you're going back to a lot.
Hummingbird attack.
Was that I've never.
Yep, just got you.
I just got hit by a hummingbird. Good Lord.
Exciting interview. That's good. That's good.
I was doing one. I just got hit by a hummingbird. For real.
Yeah.
Wow, that was crazy.
That's exciting.
Can't wait to run
Send
that
a
back.
message. Yeah,
Can't wait to run that back. Oh, what were we just saying?
So we were talking about the teaching and making the decision.
So you're going back to Alaska.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people are probably going to go, I know, Matt, but you could have stayed there and you could have done some work on the internet and made some money like a lot of people do, which is true.
Right.
But you probably make more money being a teacher, I'm assuming.
The money's very good, and the most important thing is I loved it. I really enjoyed it. And again, going back to Alaska was a good fit. I didn't mind the cold. I love the outdoors, and it was a great place for me. So it was an easy step back into it.
A couple, maybe a little bit personal questions. So how were you able to kind of, it had to be kind of a bummer because it's not like you were planning on leaving. Right. I mean, how did you? I don't want to bring up bad,
No, it's
bad
not. There's
juju,
nothing
but
bad.
I
No,
mean,
this is
how do
good.
you route? You just kind of say, hey, I got to do what I got to do.
No, I'm glad you asked that, because for people who are watching, I want them to know that if you come down here, you have a plan in mind, but you have to be open to changes, and you might have to bob and weave or take a detour, and that's what I had to do. I never planned on leaving or wanted to leave, but again, the most rational decision was to go back. I know how to teach. I loved it and still love it, and it'll be a good fit, and then I'll make a decision after that first year and see how I feel. And my plan is to come back here and continue to write.
I think another interesting thing, which we didn't mention, is which I think made you be able to do more writing, but you were kind of semi-managing a property, weren't you? Semi?
Yes, I had an opportunity, and again, we can talk about this later too, with what you choose to live on financially here. But I found a great opportunity and property managed for this friend of mine, and it worked out great. I got a really nice place to stay. It was close to town.
And you've been doing it the whole time, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
That's kind of a score, because I get asked. I probably get that email, I don't know, every day. Mike, is there anybody?
Those opportunities are here. People just have to look and ask around.
I mean, which makes you have pretty decent rent if you're paying any rent. Depends on how much property managing you're doing, but usually if you do have to pay, it's usually pretty low. It's
really
doable.
helps. Right, right.
So let's go back to the. No, let's not talk. I want to talk about all the things you were doing and what you're going to do in your plans, but just real quick about Costa Rica. So you've been here now over a year, like 14 months. So what? Has your views changed? I mean, have they gotten stronger about Costa Rica? Maybe a little like,
No, they haven't changed. They have gotten stronger. I absolutely love it here. It's been a great experience. There are the likes and dislikes. I'll tell you those right now. I really grew to love La Fortuna. And the great thing is you can pick up and you can go to the ocean in, I don't know, what is it, 2 hours, 3 hours, hop in a car. So that was always great. But what I really loved about it is the people. Those walks I would take, or the times that I would go into town to write, just 95% of the people here are super, super friendly. The rest are shy, or however you want to put that, but just friendly, really outgoing. Everybody's pura vida. They want to help you. They want to be nice. And I really enjoy that, and you feel like you're a part of the community. Even on a walk, just to wave to people every day, and you make a lot of new friends, and there's so many great activities. So it's something I
try to say this in anytime these kind of videos come up, but I don't think people understand living in Costa Rica, how the stress of living here versus Canada, North America, wherever.
So much slower.
It just so calming. It almost wraps its arms around you and says, do what you want to do.
Right.
And we're gonna comfort you, and you don't wake up going, oh my God, I got to do this task. I got 3 tasks to do, and you're running. Right. I don't think people.
No, I felt that.
If you haven't lived that, I don't think people really understand that, because usually people are coming from a very hamster wheel existence.
It's always about the rat race and doing this, doing that. Yeah.
Well, let's dispel another myth, because I know we've talked about this before, and I think we have similar views on this. So I'm going to throw it out there. Hopefully, we're going to have similar views.
Let's see.
When people just go, "Oh, Costa Rica's expensive. It's expensive." Let's first say yes, it can be.
Right. It has certain things and events, activities that can be expensive, but what I found and what I learned is that it really comes down to your choice of how you want to live. I was able to live very simply on anywhere from $1,000 to $1,200 a month. Now, it usually ended up being about $1,500 because I like to go out to the restaurants, and that's where I write and have some meals. But people could
but that was your choice. I mean, you just
exactly. Now, if you want to spend $5,000 a month driving around the country, that's you can do that too. But I think if people really want to, you can come down here and live very inexpensively and still, have a really great life. And if you want to have a lifestyle like the United States or Canada or wherever you're from, it is going to be a little bit more expensive, but it is completely up to you.
Actually, I would say if you're trying to replicate your life from wherever you're coming from, it's probably going to be more expensive, actually, than where you left.
But you can live a very simple life here, and it's possible. You just have to search around.
Right. There's a question I did want to ask you. Now, you are leaving, but were you going to stay where you're at, or were you kind of go, hey, man, let me try Samara or something? I mean, was that ever like considerations of maybe go to another place and do still writing, obviously, but maybe pick another atmosphere?
Absolutely. I'm a big ocean person, so I love the ocean. I know it's a little hot for some people, but I loved it there. So that was something I would like to try at some point. And I didn't travel as much as I would have liked to, but I do want to do more of that too. So another place to live is certainly an option for the future. Again, I love it here, and I would not mind at all living here again, but there are a lot of other really beautiful places to try out.
You know, I keep telling myself that I've lived in Fortuna literally 17 years. I could do this. What me and D'Angelo and I, do, we could do it from anywhere. We could travel all around. We travel around anyway, but we come back. But we could live pretty much anywhere and still be on the internet somewhere.
Absolutely.
Maybe a couple more likes if you can think of them. I know it's kind of off the cuff, and maybe a couple things that you like. Man, you know, something you just don't care for, but.
The likes, I would say, again, opportunities to do things. There's so many activities around here that some cost money, some don't, that you can do. Everything is right there for you to do. So I think the activities are great. Again, hopping in a car and going for a weekend and coming back is one. I've really loved the restaurants and the live music here. You could go almost any place, any day of the week and find live music for free.
I like how you, I mean, I don't really do this, definitely not like you do, but Matt, I'm not going to try to embarrass you.
No, speak for them.
But one time Matt, decided I'm going to get a Spider-Man suit, go out in the park on Easter, and I'm going to take pictures with the kids. And that's exactly what he did. And we actually have a video on that. Mm-hmm. It's a short. So those short 3 minutes. Right. We actually have a video of him doing that, and that's somebody that I want to give back to the community. I knew you were very excited about that. The kids loved it.
That was the teacher side of me getting out. I knew that would be a good event. I forgot what event was in town that time.
It was Easter.
Easter. Okay,
right?
and the park was packed and. So it was really great. We had a lot of fun.
And I was going to kind of keep mentioning that because in Fortuna, there's a lot of family stuff going on around a lot, here.
Yeah,
you can kind of get into some stuff. You can volunteer at the orphanage. You can kick around the soccer ball with the kids, whatever.
Right.
So
yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Anything, I guess any place has its disadvantages. I mean, I don't know if we need to pick that apart. Really.
No, we can. Mine are more simple, and people might go, "Oh, really?" I don't like the napkins here because they.
Jesus, Matt! I thought you were going to say something cool.
No, that's not cool. The napkins, the ketchup, and the dogs that bark at night. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody from coming because they're,
Well, the dog thing is real.
Yeah,
there are a lot of dogs
here, and that's hard to get used to. Eventually, it becomes white noise, and you just tune it out. But for me, to begin with, it was.
I don't know what's worse, Matt. The ketchup or the dogs. They have the worst freaking ketchup known to man in Costa Rica. It's sweet, it's kind of runny, and they mix it with mayonnaise, and I guess that's cool.
And I'm a big hamburger guy, so
you need your Heinz.
That's a separate food group.
Although you can get Heinz here. You can get Heinz here.
And when you do, then...
And it's great, but man, they do have...
They do.
I think that nobody's ever actually said that before. Napkins, ketchup, and the dog thing is real, guys. It is real. There's a lot of dogs here. They don't have kill shelters here. The dogs are typically nice. Mm-hmm. They're not...
Oh, yeah, they're not aggressive dogs at all. They just love to bark all day, 24 hours a day. If you're near some of them, maybe you find some
You're always near dogs here. You're always near dogs.
You got to go out in the jungle a little bit.
So let's talk about you did come down here to write, and you are known to frequent a restaurant bar and stay there for 5 hours at a time and with your computer or whatever. And
yeah, that was what I wanted to do. It's been a passion of mine my whole life, writing screenplays and books. I was an actor for 26 years in Milwaukee and Chicago. I have commercials and film.
Did you? I've got to ask this because this is like the question you have to ask when you say that.
Yeah.
Is there anything I would have saw you in, Matt?
There's the ID channel on a lot of cable programs that do the murder mystery remakes, and I did several of those. There's a project I did work on that's still in the making that could be bigger, so I can't really say that yet. So just, minor stuff, but a lot of fun.
So going back to Alaska, obviously teaching, maybe gathering some money to do. So what's your plans? How have you adjusted, like the future, or is the writing going to take a back seat now? Because, well, a little bit maybe. No.
No, that's something like being a digital nomad. You can do that anywhere. Obviously, my focus will be the teaching, but there's a lot of downtime when you're up there. So I will continue to write. I started a project, a dramatic series that.
Is that the one I'm reading?
Yes. Yes.
It's very good. When people ask you to read their book and you're scared because you may not like it, you might have to tell them that you don't like it. Not with Matt. I liked it, and I'm liking it.
That's nice.
What's this? Say this again.
Prime Cut. It's a series about kind of like a Breaking Bad, an Ozark, or a Sopranos. Two brothers who run a meat delivery business, and they distribute cocaine. So just your everyday average, series that's out there. But the hope is that I'm putting it up on Amazon in book form right now, and then the hope is to pitch it to the big ones, the Netflix, the Apple Plus, HBO, Showtime.
You never know, man. You never know.
Hope that somebody picks it up.
What people are doing now is like people are just going right to like the comics are going right to YouTube
Yeah,
and
yep.
skipping the streaming services like Netflix
Yeah.
and stuff, and just kind of.
Very popular. You get seen right away, which is good.
So is the plan really to come back, or I mean, things can change so much.
No, I do, and like I mentioned before, I'm very spontaneous. I'm keeping all doors open. A lot of different things could happen. I'm going to really try to promote the books, and I hope that works out. Teaching could be a 2-3 year opportunity. I'm going to see how that works out, and then I definitely want to come back here. That's a for sure. So
will acting be
it's
a
just
part
time.
of this again?
Yes. If I'd really love to get back into.
Well,
the
now that
acting
you lost
field.
all that weight and looking all poof now, so you know.
Gotta keep it up, gotta keep walking. But yeah, I would love to get back into the acting field. In fact, yesterday, ironically, I had a friend call me and said he's got a movie project and wanted me to come back in October, but I can't because I'm going to be up in Alaska. So the opportunities are there, and I want to keep those doors open too if I have a chance to get back in.
Does Alaska make it difficult to do the acting jobs?
It does.
I mean, it's obviously
The place I'm
proximity.
going to be proximity, because the place I'm going to be staying, there are a lot of smaller remote villages. They fly you in on a plane. That's where I'll be staying, and you're committed to the job. And it's hard to get those small planes to the big airport and out. And
Wait, so what's the community? How big is it?
200 people, very small. So not a 4-2.
You're not going to go mad up there.
No. I was in a smaller village of 900 people for 2 years, and that was fine. You acclimate. There is the darkness. I mean, we have a good November until February of 4 hours of light, so people have to adjust to that. So that's something. But no, you get used to it.
But there's got to be something about a small community. I mean,
It is.
right?
It becomes your family, and you get to know everybody, and you do all the activities with them, and it's nice. So I
Well,
like
you
that.
know, I gotta say your attitude is very good, because I've lived here a lot longer, but I would struggle, man, if I had to leave. It's a whole different thing for me,
understand.
a whole different situation. But I like how positive you are. It sounds like you got the plan, right?
Yeah, you got to know that there are detours sometimes, and plans change, and you just got to, like I said, bob and weave with it. So
Maybe it's book time more. You know, you never know what
Right.
doors are gonna
Yeah,
open.
you got to keep all doors open and just leave
Right.
all possibilities out there.
So we don't have to get into crypto, but I just have one question because I don't really understand it at all.
Sure.
So if it went down, if you still have it, can it go back up and you're like, okay, I'm fine?
It can. The way that I approached that, I had profits that I came down here with to live off, and as I went through those and the market continued to go down, those profits reduced. But then you also have other investments, which they call bags, and those are solid. Those are there, but you lock them up for a while and you can't touch them, and that's where I ran into a problem here. So those are available, and things are going to be good upcoming, but I need to be, again, rational about where my finances are at, and the decision to go to Alaska was the best one.
So
took that route.
what advice would you give people that are thinking about making any kind of move? It doesn't have to be to Costa Rica by any means, but what would you kind of jumped in when you first did it, kind of.
Right. Best advice I would give is have a plan A and a plan B, maybe a plan C if you need to, just as another option. Know what you want to do when you come down. Give yourself a decent amount of time. I think you've had other videos or talked to people about coming down and not really giving it enough time, and just getting to know the people or immersing yourself in the right community or trying different communities. And then if that doesn't work out, then you have a plan B and just realize, hey, it didn't work out. I'm going to go back and do this, or we might try something different. So just have a couple of plans and make sure that your finances are in a good place. That if it doesn't work out,
some things you just can't. I mean,
no, that's
see,
true.
you know,
right,
right.
So.
Well, I don't know. It's been nice knowing you. Hopefully, we'll still keep in touch.
This isn't goodbye. It's just
I know. I hate goodbyes, man.
Right.
I hate those
See you
goodbye
later.
things. Guys, if you're interested in reading any of his stuff, he's got other stuff. I'm going to put all his links in the description. I'm telling you right now, he can write. So it's not one of those, I don't know. So
Say all the different types of books, like
yeah, he's
romance.
got a
I do
romance.
something on the romantic side, and then also on the dramatic drama side. So a little bit of
Extreme,
both. Yes,
a little bit
about
extreme,
as
from
extreme as you-
cocaine to love.
right. That's about as extreme as you can get. So yeah.
All right, Matt, we're going to catch up with you next time you come
Okay,
down here.
sounds
Hopefully,
good. I appreciate it.
Hopefully you'll be here in, I don't know, let's say 2 years. We'll say.
No, we'll call it about 10 months, 10, 12 months, maybe a year.
Really? That's the
Yeah.
plan? Oh, I thought,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you said something about possibly 3 years.
No,
being-
job's till next May, and then you have summers off, and then I'll have a chance to figure out where we're
reevaluate?
going from there. Yeah.
Matt,
So,
thanks so much for
it's a
talking
pleasure.
to us,
Thanks,
man.
Michael.
It's always
Thanks,
great.
everybody.
I'm Michael Allen, travelcostaricanow.com. This was Matt. Things are going to pop up. You're thinking about living or traveling anywhere. Always do your homework and research. And if it's Costa Rica, we're putting our videos up with anybody's. Ciao.